Ready to go, party people?
Open some play boosters, Magic Gathering.
I'm gonna open back to back white overlords. Get ready.
Nice,
Nice. You're not gonna play one.
I should have called that.
All right, we're all taking white cards, guys.
Hello and welcome back to Team Draft LA Duskmorn season. Pack one, pick one. My rare is a Razorkin Needlehead, which is a pretty strong one.
This is the most decent pack I've ever seen in my entire life.
Definitely a pretty significant threat for 2 mana. It is double pipped red, which can be tough. But the good news is that I really like playing red in this set, or starting red in particular, just because the color runs pretty deep. And you can get past things like Scorching Dragonfire, which is a really nice follow-up. We also see the Gremlin in the back there, which, you know, not impossible that it would wheel, I guess. Pretty unlikely. Disturbing Mirth, I don't expect to wheel. That would probably be my pick if Dragonfire weren't here, though. But happy to take Dragonfire and trying to get into red here after taking the Needlehead. Gonna be looking to be as heavily red as possible to make the double pip 2-drop as easy to cast as possible. Needlehead is also, ideally wanting to play a more, if not aggro, proactive game. So going to be hopefully trying to build a deck that suits that game plan. But first we have to see if red is even open. And so far so good. We see pick 3, another Scorching Dragonfire. Disturbing Mirth and in the last pack and the Broodspinner in this pack are 2 of the better uncommons in the set. Not thrilled that I have to be passing those, but Scorching Dragonfire is a pretty solid consolation, keeping me nice and focused here. And having 2 of one of the, if not the best removal spell in the set, makes me pretty excited. So here we see, a Glimmer Burst in there. Hand that feeds if I absolutely must take a red card, but I think the Split Skin Doll is, likely just the best card in this pack, and enough better of a 2-drop than Hand That Feeds that I feel the need to snap it up here. Which makes this next pick a little odd in retrospect. It probably was correct to just go ahead and take the Trapped in the Screen. Since it is the better card over the Ticket Booth Tunnel of Hate. I think my logic at the time, though, was that I had already picked up 2 Scorching Dragonfire, and so 3rd removal spell within the first 5 picks was not ideal, but I think it probably was still correct to just go ahead and take it there. Here, I saw the Disturbing Mirth get passed to me earlier. Enduring Tenacity is obviously the worst of the Enduring cycle, but it's still not unplayable by any means. First wheel here, Boiler Bilge's Ripper and Vicious Clown, so red seems to be fairly open, even if the cards that I'm being passed are not premium. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Haunted Screen here. Sometimes you just have weird mana in Team Draft. You just have a splash that you absolutely need to make happen, so Haunted Screen can help with that. And pretty excited to see a pick 8 Glimmerlight here. Glimmerlight is just a really nice 2/3 drop for a lot of decks in the format, but it's going to be particularly good for me in a proactive red deck. And I'm even more excited to get the second one here. Turning the Needlehead into a 3/3 or 4/4 first striking attacker can make its body more relevant as the game goes on. And even, that ticket booth giving things double strike, that gets even better as the Glimmerlights get equipped onto things. Here, the baseball bat being here is not surprising. There's even a green-white land. Obviously, no one is going for that. Green-white being considered the weakest straight color pair in the set. I think the best card in the pack is just the Glimmer Burst, though, so I'm going to take it. Here, nothing really to write home about, but take a 3-drop in my main color. The Mirth didn't wheel, of course. Wasn't expecting it to, but I'm really happy with the basically mono red start here, and have good cards in various other colors that I would be happy to play if I happen to get into those. Boiler Bilge's Ripper, not the most important player in the deck. You can get a second one there. But once again, kind of showing me that red is indeed open. So I'm expecting to see more of it, at least in Pack 3, if not Pack 2. I'm going to be looking to see... green seemed the hardest cut. So that is the least likely to be my second color, but I've got Splitskin Doll
I went to Universal today and I saw Izzy.
and Glimmer Burst, if I want to go in those directions. Came back wrong is certainly a nice removal spell with some upside.
Yeah.
We see another Glimmerlight and another Scorching Dragonfire.
What does he do there?
He does a bunch of stuff. He helps run minions, and he does
Taking a little look at my
organized crowd control. He trains. He does a bunch of
pile, though. I think I'm still pretty okay with my first 2 Dragonfires and would like more creatures that I can equip these Glimmerlights onto. And so I think Fear Being Hunted gets the edge here. Next we get past another ticket booth, Tunnel of Hate, Ragged Playmate. Notables otherwise are Rootwise Survivor, Smoky Lounge, Misty Salon to a lesser extent. Nothing too crazy. Again, green is my least likely second color, but I definitely don't mind having the second copy of Ticket Booth here. The card is perfectly fine on its own. And just the way that Pack 1 went, I've sort of naturally built the beginnings of a deck that plays with the ticket booths pretty well. So even just having a redundant copy is something I don't mind too much. Smoky Lounge is a card that I haven't gotten to play with a ton in this set, and could be considered a more powerful card in exactly the Is It deck, but I'm willing to see if that one comes back around first, because that's something that's pretty unlikely for anyone else to be getting into at this point. Pick 3, we see double Gremlin Tamer. Another Rootwise Survivor, Centipede, Fear of Surveillance. Lots of strong cards. I for a brief moment was thinking about hating a Gremlin Tamer, but of course there was just no point when I saw the second one. At this point, though, I do think, Hand That Feeds and Fear Surveillance are close enough in power that I'll just take the red one. Seeing a turn inside out right off the top there. Sounds pretty good to me. Sort of hoping to see maybe something more powerful in there, considering that I felt like, one of, if not the only red drafters at the table. As it would turn out, there would be one more in my teammate Rob. And here, we see another red 2-drop. I just took one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Unable to Scream. Again, it's only my, I believe, second playable blue card so far, but it was probably just the most powerful card in the pack, and indeed we see another playmate here, so I'm wasn't really missing out on anything by not taking the first one. Also, my curve and creature count are, my curve is pretty low and my creature count, including the Glimmerlights, is pretty good, so feeling pretty good about the deck overall at this point. Apart from that one pack with the double Gremlin Tamer and, I guess the 2 Rootwise Survivors, I haven't been seeing any clear signals this pack. It's felt like a generally weaker pack in terms of card quality across colors. So I wish I could have a little more direction as to what my second color should be, if any, but for now I'm just happy to get as deep into red as possible. Coordinated Clobbering, Egotist, basically nothing here to speak of. Again, green is the thing I have the least of here, and I think Egotist has a place. It can certainly end games by dealing, the last 4 or 5 points of damage in a way that your opponent can't really interact with. We do indeed see the Smoky Lounge on the wheel here, so it's probably the biggest signal of this pack so far. You can see me kind of tentatively pulling my blue cards together here. And even the that other red 3-drop goes into the mix back there, as it would actually be a solid playable if I do end up in an Is It Rooms deck. That certainly seems the most likely place to go at this point. A little surprised to see the Rootwise Survivor still in here. But it's basically nothing for me here. Maybe a sideboard, Untimely Malfunction or something, but I can go ahead and hate pick a Rootwise Survivor. That thing can be pretty annoying to deal with. Here, once again, we see a red card on the wheel. Just going to go ahead and take it over basically nothing. And yeah, here we see, 2 colorless cards, and I do even consider the Friendly Teddy just as a just in case 2-drop, but thinking that blue is my most likely second color at this point. I think, you know, Piranha Fly doesn't look like much, but with double Glimmerlight, double Tunnel, it can certainly turn into something of a significant threat that comes down on turn 2. And then not much to speak of in these final picks of the pack here.
Okay. So close. Okay. Everyone good? Oh wait. They scored. Shit.
You good?
Going into pack 3, I'm still pretty close to mono red, but certainly going to be on the lookout for some stronger blue cards if I see any. What we do see here is, you know, Clockwork Percussionist, which I would have loved to pick up, but a Jolly Balloon Man seems too strong to pass, unfortunately. You know, not a 0% chance of me playing it, not a 0% chance of me ending up in Boros after all. I'm thinking anyway at this point. Yep, put it right there next to the split skin doll. Yeah, this turned out to be not the easiest draft. After a pretty sweet pack 1, I thought. And I get past a Zamone here, as well as an Optimistic Scavenger, the Flood Pits Drowner. Yeah, I'm very surprised and a little annoyed that I get past this Zamone here, just because it feels very likely that the player to my left who I passed the Brood Spinner to in pack 1 could easily be in some kind of Sultai deck and just can't be passing it to him, I think. We see ticket booth number 3 here. Again, over basically nothing. I don't know. Tunnel Surveyor, Meat Locker is something that I wouldn't mind playing. But again, I've sort of just spec'd my deck in a low curve, heavy red direction. In such a way that I think even the 4th ticket booth is going to play a little better than a first Meat Locker. Also, you know, double blue on Drowned Diner is maybe not going to be the easiest thing for me to achieve with the deck, considering how red I want to be. Nothing really inspiring here. There's a, well, Thornspire Verge. If I'm thinking of maybe trying to splash a Zamone or something. But that doesn't sound super great to me. Zamone on the splash is, you know, significantly worse than an on-curve turn 3 Zamone. I pull the crab up to the front, but, you know, it's just not really a crab deck. I'm trying to win through damage, and I'm not playing defense, really. But here's where I finally sort of make the decision that I've delayed for possibly a little too long, and solidify blue as my second color. Take the Soul Rager, which is going to be nice with 4 ticket booth.
Pleasure.
course, I'm not hurting for ragged playmates at this point, or vicious clowns for that matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and hate pick this Fear of Infinity. You know, it feels like a late BC beatdown, but I feel like if anyone were to be straight Gruul at this pot, it would have been me. It's a deck that I enjoy playing. So it doesn't feel hate pickable, doesn't feel playable, and Grab the Prize seems like it should be just fine in my deck. Wind it down a little bit here. Another Enduring Tenacity wheels. Let's go ahead and take it again over. Not much. Tunnel Surveyor is not the worst wheel in the world. A couple of bodies to put Glimmer Lights on. That seems to be sort of the game plan that I've decided on here. Don't Make a Sound is a card that I don't love, but I think could be playable or sided into in some particular instances. Peeper is not doing a ton for me. Most of my rooms are red, and so the Peeper doesn't pay for the red part of those costs, of course. Second Piranha Fly, though, is actually, you know, like I said, not going to be the worst for me as something to give double strike or put Glimmer Lights onto. And yeah, that's sort of the deck.
I mean, here's cards I could play.
I was fairly happy with how it turned out. This is Alex's Golgari deck with an Unholy Annex, and this is Rob's Boros Brew with 5 jump scares. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think.